This is the Apple Education community. You can find it by going to education.apple.com. From this page, you might want to explore the Apple Teacher Learning Center. In the Learning Center, you can find resources for getting started with iPad and Mac, as well as different ways to inspire you to use the tools on iPad or Mac for lesson integration. If you click on the Foundational Skills area, this is where you can learn to use the basics for iPad and Mac foundations. There's also special guides for Clips, Classroom, and Schoolwork. If I click on iPad and Mac foundations, this will take me to a page where I can toggle between iPad and Mac. If I'm on iPad, I can learn the different skills for iPad in general, or the skills inside of Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iMovie, GarageBand, and newly added Clips. You can earn badges for all of these and become an Apple teacher if you want, or you can just use the guides to get yourself familiar. You can also do the same thing for your Mac. You can learn general skills for Mac as well as all of the specific skills for each of the Mac tools. The Foundations area in the Learning Center is really great for finding ways to use your iPad or your Mac with students in new and creative ways. If I go back to the Learning Center page, you might also want to explore the lesson integration space. In the lesson integration space, there's information about teaching code, everyone can create, as well as augmented reality. I'm going to show you the Apple Teacher Portfolio. It's a little bit of a misnomer in that you don't actually have to create a portfolio, but it is a space to actually give you ideas for lessons that you can use on iPad or Mac. Click on Apple Teacher Portfolio, and you'll see that there are 3 areas that Apple focuses on: Activate, Explore, and Apply. Inside each of these 3 different stages of lessons, you can find examples that you can utilize or download for use with your students. If I click on the Activate space, for example, I can see different activities like capturing live photos, brainstorming in notes, using a graphic organizer. All of these are different ways that you can use iPad with students to activate their learning. Some of them, like Activate using a graphic organizer, will give you the idea of how to use the different ways of graphic organizers, and it will even give you a downloaded template that you can use with your students. As you explore the different sections of Activate, Explore, and Apply, you will see even more ways that you can use lesson inspiration from Apple with your students. There's more downloadables in the Explore and in the Apply section. The last space I will show you on the Learning Center page is this support from remote learning. While it is left over from the kind of age of remote learning with COVID, there are actually a lot of really helpful resources in here. There are quick guides for learning with Apple, time-saving tips for teachers, activities for students that you can use for just fun ways of using iPad. These are all great ways to get started. There are even pre-recorded lessons from the Apple Education Learning Series that you can learn and watch to do different activities with your students. The newest space in the Apple Education Community website is the forum. If you click on the forum, this is kind of Apple's version of maybe a Teachers Pay Teachers. You can go on here and choose any of these general topics, and you can see posts from teachers all over the world asking questions, but also sharing information like animation and immersive learning. A lot of the posts even include downloadables that you can borrow from other teachers and use with your students. That is everything that you can find on the Apple Education community. I highly recommend checking it out so you can find inspiration for working with iPad and Mac.